Back at it again, and we've got to talk about CNN once again today because they had someone on the show that said the truth out loud, and I'm happy more and more people are saying this because as Republicans, we have been accused of being extremists and conspiracy theorists and liars and this and that, and time again, we're always proven right. If given enough time, we're always proven right. And in this situation, we were proven right once again. Like, share, comment, and hit that subscribe button if you are new. And let's dive in.
My next guest co-authored this Wall Street Journal op-ed with Jeb Bush under the heading Elon Musk and Donald Trump cases imperil the rule of law. Joining me now is co-founder of Palantir and managing partner of 8VC, Joe Lonsdale. Joe, thank you for being here. I'm curious, your co-author, Jeb Bush, no fan of Donald Trump. Why did he feel compelled to weigh in on this?
Michael, I've never given Donald Trump a cent either. I love America. I've built a lot of businesses in this country. I love building, I love investing here. And this is very scary. I see the government weaponized against my friend Elon Musk. And listen, I don't love Donald Trump, but I was just with a bunch of my business friends who don't love him either. And all of them thanked me for writing this. They said, Joe, this is scary. What they're telling me is that if I speak up, if I run for office, they're going to come and they're going to find a huge way to penalize me for something that's just absolutely ridiculous. Like, everyone knows Donald Trump probably didn't do this perfectly, but they know that dozens of others didn't either. And it's obvious he's being penalized an insane amount of money because he's Donald Trump. And that's not how America is supposed to work.
Okay, the arguments in opposition to this being quote unquote victimless. The idea is that he inflated his value, therefore was given preferential interest rates. Even if he repaid them, he took advantage of those banks. You would say what to that?
I would say that there's no one else in this country who would ever be fined even $50 million for this. And finding him $400 million for this or whatever it is clearly because she's trying to get Donald Trump. And it's the same thing with what's happening.
Bingo. And we had been saying that, bro, they're only doing this because it's Trump. There's no way anybody else would be fined almost $500 million. $500 million for this type of situation. When the bank actually said, no, we weren't defrauded. No. We like this guy. We want to do more business with the guy. Right? Now, it'd be different if the bank came in and said, hey, judge, like this guy's terrible. He robbed us blind. Well, we thought we did our homework, but like he backdoored us. Like, judge, get him. We need our money back. Bank didn't say that, right? The bank didn't say that. Not at all. Paid back in full. Would love to do more business with him. So exactly again, who was defrauded here? And as Republicans, we're always called, the MAGA extremists. They're just MAGA extremists. They're trying to come to defense of their master, the master MAGA, right? It's just like, yeah, we're defending Trump because what we see is total BS. We're not extremists. We're not crazies. Okay? It's actually the left, which we have video footage of it. The only video footage of the right that the left has of us doing anything even remotely bad is J6, which is why they bring it up every 2 seconds. Oh, J6. But we've got all types of tapes on them. All types of tapes. The most recent one, which was the outside of the Democrat campaign headquarters, if I believe that location was. Like, come on. Bro, these guys live to destroy stuff. That's all they do. But anyway, let's continue on.
Even $50 million for this. And finding him $400 million for this or whatever it is clearly because she's trying to get Donald Trump. And it's the same thing with what's happening to Elon right now. It's activist judges who are saying if you speak up, if you're a target of our political party, of our ideology. I mean, Elon has the DOJ going after him. He has the Labor Department going after him. He has these fish and wildlife people delaying things for months for silly reasons, making him write book reports, to them. And the whole system right now is being weaponized, and it's scary and it's wrong. This is what happens in emerging markets. It's not what happens in great countries like America, and we need it to stop.
So I read aloud from Judge Engoron's opinion on this issue that you and I are now discussing. Were there real victims? And he says it doesn't wash if you say, well, everybody does it, and why is this guy getting singled out? One of the things that the judge made clear in his opinion is that it kind of necessitates baking into these type of calculations and negotiations the fraud factor. And that if someone like Trump gets reined in, it makes it a more equitable system for everyone who follows. How about that argument?
Michael, it's so you have something that it's like everyone's driving over the speed limit. In a communist country like China, everyone's always guilty of breaking the law. In America, at some point, we have a million regulations. I don't think Trump necessarily handled this perfectly. It's not a $400 million fine. It's like basically what happens in these countries when you have a regime take over that's going after its enemies is you weaponize it and you penalize people in ridiculous ways. This is an obvious example of that. This is why it's scary to my friends who do business who don't even like Trump, because it's a $400 million fine for something where there's no victims is obviously a weaponization of government, and everyone knows on its face. And again, these are my friends. A lot of them send me emails screaming about Trump. They sound like Bob Costas just does, who was just on. They hate him, but they're in business, and they know that penalizing that much in business is clearly weaponization. And so to me, seeing this is not just against Trump, it's against all these other people. It's not how the country is supposed to work.
It's facts. This third world country stuff right here. Third world country stuff. You heard him there. Even folks that don't even really like Trump are like, yo, this is insane. This is very concerning. It's obviously a weaponization, right? They're obviously going after this guy simply because of who he is and what he represents. This is a problem. What if we don't agree with the establishment narrative at one point in time? Are they going to go after us too? And of course, Kathy Hochul came out and said, oh, well, you guys have nothing to worry about. And I'm paraphrasing here. I don't remember her exact statement, right? I could probably pull it up, though. Let me see if I can pull that up. I want to get her exact statement on business people leaving the state of New York because of the whole Trump situation. Was this it?
Donald
problem with it
getting
admitted as it has nothing to do with justice, but well, don't worry, the rest of you businessmen, keep doing business here. This is just about one guy, Donald Trump, into that city in terms of trade and business. Hochul's in trouble now because what she said, well, don't worry, the rest of you businessmen, keep doing business here. This is just about one guy, Donald Trump.
Yeah.
So it was a political hit job. So you actually just admitted as the governor that it has nothing to do with justice, but preventing him from becoming president. And I've got a question for Hochul, Engoron, Letitia James. Of the hundreds of millions of dollars my former boss is meant to pay in fines and penalties and damages, who's the recipient? Because no bank was defrauded. In fact, the banks testified that they want
there's no
more business
clawback
from
for
President
victims.
Trump.
It's just going to sit in the Attorney General Letitia James coffers. It's outrageous. Why?
So by her coming out and making a statement that, oh, well, yeah, you other business guys, you got nothing to worry about. This was just Trump and his bad behavior, basically, right? That's not exactly what she said, but I'm paraphrasing here. You're admitting, in my humble opinion, you're admitting that it was political. You just admitted that. Because you've got business people like Joe Lonsdale here, which is this guy, co-founder of Palantir, and Kevin O'Leary, who we've checked out before previously. You've got big businessmen that are admitting, yo, we do the exact same thing as Trump. We do the exact same. And I know other people that do the exact same thing as Trump. So, again, Kathy Hochul, they have nothing to worry about. Why would they have nothing to worry about if they all did the same thing as Trump? Oh. Republicans were right, huh? When we said this was political, and you all called us extremists and crazies and MAGA Republicans, right? Tried to down us and say we're just conspiracy theorists. We're liars. We were actually right the whole time. And you just admitted it. Thank you.
Okay, let me try one more time. This is now my third argument trying to play devil's advocate with you, because you said something about driving. There's a law professor named Orrin Kerr, and he used a driving analogy. He said it's like if you're driving drunk and you don't hurt anybody, but you were still driving drunk, you got to get punished because the next time you might hurt somebody. How about that?
I think driving drunk kills a lot of people and is a horrible thing, and this thing is not equivalent to something that's a horrible thing that kills a lot of people. You know, the governor of New York, even on the left, made it clear that this is something that was specifically because it was Donald Trump. And it's if you want to penalize him a little bit for this, to kind of like slap his hand because he's Donald Trump, and just show others as an example, that would be one thing. If you find him $20 million, I would have said, oh, that's kind of ridiculous, but I wouldn't have written the piece. But if you try to find someone enough to hurt him, to punish him, that's just not how this is supposed to work with a victimless crime.
Joe, I'm playing devil's advocate with you because here last week I said it would have had more credibility if it were $11 million. The fact that it was 355 just made it incredible, frankly, and well, enough.
Yeah, I do think that is a fair point there, right? It would have had a little more credibility if they were like, excuse me, if they were like, oh yeah, Trump, you did do some questionable things here. We're gonna fine you $5 million, $10 million, right? I'd be like, oh, okay. I'm still questioning it, but it does have a little bit more credibility. The fact that you're trying to fine this man like $500 million is just absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. If that was anybody else, you wouldn't be fining them that much, right? So when we talk about this type of stuff, we've been right the whole time. We have been correct. And then the whole, drunk driver, you got to punish them. No, I definitely agree with Joe on that. Like, drunk driving is obviously dangerous. There's obviously victims to that. There was no victim in Trump's case. If you wanted to compare it to that, it would be like someone driving drunk for their first time ever, and happening to get pulled over. They didn't harm anyone, right? Could have, but they didn't hurt anyone. A cop just saw them swerving a little bit, pulled them over. And obviously they went to jail, they went to court, and the judge sentenced them to the death penalty. That's the equivalent of what this is right here. Yeah, sure, whatever, you might have broke the law, but it doesn't mean you get the death penalty, right? Now, if it was like your 7th or 8th infraction, all right, buddy, okay. We could talk about some things a little differently here. Maybe house arrest, right? But, you just drove. You didn't harm anyone, and you're getting a harsher punishment than some folks who have actually pine boxed some people. There's people that have put people in pine boxes that haven't gotten a death penalty. But you get it, and you didn't even hurt anybody. That's the equivalent of what's going on here. If you're going to compare it to a DUI, right? That's the equivalent, in my humble opinion. But I'm happy to see more and more folks are, speaking out against this stuff, because it is a load of crap. It is a load of crap. And I'm so sick and tired of, left-wing extremists trying to call us conspiracy theorists when we're just saying the obvious. This is a political witch hunt. It's obvious to everyone. Well, maybe not everyone, but most people. It's obvious. Even people that don't like Trump, which is another thing. Like, why don't you like Trump at this point? Like, that's just weird to me. I feel like people are just saying that just to say it at this point. Like, it's just a thing, to try to stay in the establishment's good graces. I don't even like Trump. I don't like Trump, but, like, I see that, and I'm just like, but you just were, like, low-key kind of speaking nicely about Trump, but you, like, you felt the need to throw in there, oh, but I don't even like Trump, Bro, it's weird. It's weird. It's mainly from people with a bunch of money. You know what I'm saying? Which is why I say I think it's like an establishment thing. They want to stay in the establishment's good graces, right? But I think the establishment is going to crumble here shortly. But what do y'all think? Let me know. Like, share, comment, and hit that subscribe button before you go. Peace and love. I'm out.